Good morning and happy Thanksgiving. So I'm just gonna drop you guys right into something that's going on right now and what I've been dealing with this. Also a little bit of I guess an update you could say, because we are officially at the end of the season. So things are gonna start slowing down. So what that means, basically, before I get into this, just let you guys know ahead of time. I work in a pole barn. And where I live, kind of the middle, the East Coast area, you know, West Virginia, Virginia Nova area, we are now entering winter, right? It's cold, man. It gets really cold here. So I'm going to try to figure out a good way to seal this off to a point, so that way I can kind of put a heater in here and I can continue working on it, because I have stuff that I need to get done over winter for next season as it comes up. So videos are going to slow down. Not because content is slowing down, but because it's just so freaking cold. I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to make it a goal to try to get this place somewhat sealed, at least to where heat will stay in, and I can continue working in here. But that's it for the season update. So now let me explain to you guys what's really going on here. So, having a really weird problem. Now, I posted on one of the Facebook groups of people that build H and F series motors about my problem. Hang on. And nobody seems to have any idea what's going on. So, y'all know what's going on here, right? I currently have no blow valve because I thought that was part of my problem. Wastegate line is ran straight off the compressor housing, runs straight up to gate, right? So, gauge right now is fed from right there. You can kind of see the spot right back here on one of those ports right there. These ports are blacked off. There's a port back here that's blacked off right there. Okay, so I'm not reading any positive boost on my boost gauge. Really not a big deal. I want it to read though, because I want to know, because we're going to be turning the boost up here soon, so I need to make sure I can get an accurate reading. The map sensor is showing boost. Nothing else is. It doesn't matter which port I put it on, whether it's on these two ports, those two ports back there, nothing. It shows vacuum, it reads vacuum just fine, just goes to zero as soon as I start getting the power. Not a lot of people I've spoken to have any kind of explanation, and it seems that that's the general consensus, is nobody really knows what's going on. I thought maybe it was my blow-off valve, that it was opening too early and it was just expelling air and expelling boost. Not it. Yeah, that's right here. And I'm still getting zero. The only thing that I can think is, I don't even know what to think. I know it seems kind of like a minimal issue because it's like, the boost gauge won't read. That's kind of the way of watching what your motor's doing, because the oil pressure reads fine, the FR reads fine. Boost gauge goes to zero. It is electronic gauge. Now, before anybody says, well, maybe the gauge is bad. All right, let me walk you through what's going on, right? I've had two different gauges now. Two different brands. I've had AEM, Glow Shift. Actually, three. AEM, Glow Shift, and now this one, right? All three of them, same exact thing. It's not going above zero. I've checked for boost leaks with this super awesome patent-pending boost leak tester, which is just a step-down coupling from Advanced. That is a spray paint can cap and a valve stem out of a wheel. It worked. I was able to do a boost leak test and check for things. Next, while the car was running, I did a vacuum leak test. I used starter fluid. There was no rise in RPM, so it's not sucking air through any of the ports or any of the places that could possibly be causing a vacuum leak. Also, while doing the boost leak test, I tested everywhere else. I tested any vacuum hose, I tested all the couplings, I tested everything. Nothing. So I've got, my system is fully sealed. I'm sure there's probably a small leak somewhere, but not enough to cause a loss of power this great, or a loss of pressure this great. I've had three different gauges now. Two technically, but we'll say three. All of them go to 0. Read vacuum just fine. Now, this is a Skunk 2. This is a Skunk 2 manifold, Pro Series manifold. The only thing I got left to do is I'm going to tie it into the fuel pressure regulator hose, and see if I get an accurate reading from there. If not, the last chance is getting it tied directly into the boost reference port on the compressor housing. I won't be able to read any vacuum, but I'll be able to hopefully read boost. So that's what we're going to be doing today. Sorry for the cuts. There's a lot of activity going on right now, which kind of annoys me, but here's what it is. What's it do when you got neighbors, right? All right, so I'm going to go ahead and start pulling things off, and we're going to try to figure out what's going on. This is the fuel pressure regulator right here. Here's the line for it. It goes right in here. Now, I've heard a lot of people say that it's not a good idea to tie into your FPR line because they say you want it to be as direct a route as possible. But then I've heard tons of people say it's okay. That's where most people tie their boost gauges in. So that's the route we're gonna go. I'm gonna put a T in there, hook the line up, and then see what happens. I gotta get this figured out because my gauge doesn't read. Yeah, so let me get a T and then I'm gonna do that. Whoops. So, you might be wondering, why am I looping the line? Why do I loop the lines instead of putting these things on there? I don't trust them. I've seen those little caps leak and they blow off. I don't trust them. You know what doesn't leak? Loop lines. So, you've done that. You've tied in. This is literally just temporary. Just for testing purposes, just to see if it's going to work. This is a barbed T, so it doesn't blow off. And that right there is just a grommet. So that was the other thing too. Some people said that if the boost gauge line is pinched, it can cause issues. There's no way it's pinched now. It did run down, down around and inside and whatnot. Now it goes through a grommet in the firewall, straight to the little sensor the boost gauge has. Can't be pinched. Take it for a drive and we're going to see what's going to happen. So, driving clip here. So my camera messed up. This is a weird cut, I know. After the first drive, I still was having boost problems and it was still not reading above 0. So I switched it over to the wastegate line using a barb T, which I'll show the clip of me just kind of switching it over after this little clip in. But I just want you to kind of understand what's going on because my camera decided it was going to do a time lapse instead of an actual video recording. Obviously didn't find that out till after all the footage was together. But yeah, so that's what's going on here. And then I think the next clip is going to be me taking it back out, which would then be the first successful driving clip in this video. I know it's weird, I'm sorry, but let's just now continue with the rest of it. So different. So it read more. Apparently doing this according to that, I only made like what, 3 pounds is all it went up. This car felt way faster. I did the same pull prior. Same pull. I always do the same pull. So for comparison purposes. This was way faster. Still didn't fix the problem. But now I'm even more confused because why was it so much faster? Why did the I don't understand. Man, I'm really confused. I'm genuinely confused. I don't really understand. I'm gonna put the gauge back on the fuel pressure regulator line because I feel like it worked the best. And I'm gonna do some more research to figure out, first off, why that happened, and secondly, how to fix this problem. So I am going to, I'll put this back together because I'm gonna put it back on the line. Try to figure out, do some online looking. I think the only thing I can think is that maybe the added line coming off the wastegate sent pressure away from the wastegate. Because that's a problem I'm having too, is my wastegate's opening way too soon. So I got to get a manual boost controller and fix that, because that's super annoying. Maybe these problems are linked. Like maybe it's together. Like maybe I'm not making as much boost as I want because the gate's opening and it's sending exhaust out of the gate rather than through the exhaust side. Because exhaust is what makes turbo spin. So instead of it running down into here and spinning the runner, it's just sending it right out the gate. So it's just like path of least resistance, it's just going right up. So I wonder if maybe there's something there. I don't know. I'm just throwing spaghetti at the wall at this point. Sorry, this was kind of a more talking video than I had planned. But you guys have to come along with me, as I still don't understand what's going on. Alright, well, I'm gonna end it here. Again, it's getting colder. So there might not be another video next week, because I might be trying to get this place somewhat sealed up so it stays warmer in here so I can continue making content. So if there's a video next week, that's why. Well, if there's not a video next week, that's why. So just, I guess, stay tuned and we'll see where we go from here. I'm gonna keep you guys updated on what's going on with this though, because it's driving me crazy. We'll figure this out. We will figure this out. All right. But yeah, I'm gonna end it here. So I'll see you guys soon. Yeah, I'll see you guys soon. Peace.